Today, let's talk about a hero who has been quietly, almost secretly, dominating the high ranks of Mobile Legends. Nathan! You might be surprised to hear this, but right now in Mythic, Nathan is the 13th most picked hero. Not bad. But get this, he has the 2nd highest win rate and the 4th highest ban rate. So what's going on? Why are top tier players suddenly banning and winning so much with a hero that a lot of people sleep on? The truth is, players are finally recognizing his insane strength. And it all comes down to one massive update that happened a couple of seasons ago. The big change? You can now maintain the stacks on his passive just by using basic attacks. This sounds small, but trust me, it's a total game changer that turned him from a good hero into an absolute monster. Today we're going to break down why Nathan is so good, how to build him, and most importantly, share the advanced tips that will make you a master of time and space. Alright, before we get into the nitty-gritty tips, let's quickly cover his core strengths. First, magic damage. Nathan deals entirely magic damage, even with his basic attacks. This is huge because the most common defensive item for marksman when with nature is completely useless against him. While other MMs get shot down, you can keep blasting away. Second, he's a late game hyper carry. Like most marksmen, he starts off a bit slow, but once he gets his core items, his damage output and attack speed are just ridiculous. Third, his wave clear is insane. His skill 1 can clear entire minion waves in seconds, letting him push towers and defend bases incredibly fast. And finally, his unique mobility. His ultimate isn't just a dash, it's a full-on repositioning tool that, if you use correctly, makes him one of the deadliest heroes in the game. Okay, let's talk items. Nathan's build is pretty specific and it's all about maximizing his attack speed and magic damage. Feather of Heaven. This is your absolute must-have, bread and butter item. It gives you attack speed and adds extra magic damage to your basic attacks. Arcane Boots. For that early game magic penetration to make your pokes hurt. Concentrated Energy. This is your hybrid lifesteal item. Since all your damage is magic based, this works on your basic attacks as well, not just your skills. It gives you incredible sustain in fights. Holy Crystal. This is the reason why he can delete HPs even with his skills. A bit pricey but worth the wait. Wind Talker. A great item for even more attack speed and some movement speed to help you kite enemies. Divine Glaive. This is what you build when the enemy starts getting tanky. It gives you a ton of magic penetration, letting you melt through their defenses. Nathan is strong, but he's not a one-size-fits-all pick. He shines in the right environment. You want to pick Nathan when your team has a strong front line. Think of heroes like Tigreal or Kufra who can soak up damage and lock enemies down for you. He also loves teammates with good peel who can protect him early on. Be very careful picking him against teams with heavy chain crowd control. If a single CC gets a hold of you, you're probably toast. Super high burst assassins can also be a problem if they can one-shot you before you can even press your ultimate. Part 4. The Masterclass. Tips to dominate with Nathan. Alright, this is the part you've been waiting for. Let's get into the tips that separate the good Nathans from the great ones. Nathan is nothing without his passive. Those stacks give you attack speed and movement speed. Your goal is to have them up as much as possible. Pre-stacking is key. Never walk into a team fight with 0 stacks. Before rotating to Turtle or Lord, hit a jungle creep or a minion wave. Arriving at the fight with full stacks is a massive advantage. Check bushes safely. You can use your skill 1 to check a bush for enemies. Cast it into the grass and watch your passive icon. If you suddenly gain a stack, it means you hit someone. Free vision. Your ultimate entropy is the highest skill cap part of his skill. How you position your clone will decide if you get a kill or just feed the enemy. The escape route. In a risky or even fight, always place your clone in a safe spot, behind a wall, near your tower, or towards your teammates. Think of it as your instant getaway tool. When you're pushing a tower, drop your clone back in a safe position in case enemies show up. The aggressive play. If you have a numbers advantage or see a low health enemy running away, you can do the opposite. Throw your clone in front of them to close the gap, swap, and secure the kill. But be warned, if you do this and mess up, you have no escape. The zoning tool. Is an enemy trying to defend a tower or objective? Sometimes you can just throw your ultimate on top of them as a distraction. The fear of you swapping will often make them back off, giving your team space. Just don't swap or else you'll die in an instant. Now for a super important information that many players forget. Your ultimate reduces the cooldown of your skill 1 and 2 by 50%. Twice. Watch this. My skills are on cooldown. Now I use my ultimate. I get cooldown reduction, and now I swap with the clone. See that? Another cooldown reduction. You can basically get 2 full rotations of your skills in a few seconds. So to maximize your combo, use skill 1 and 2 before the ultimate. Use ultimate, swap clones, and then use S1 and S2 again. It's a massive burst of damage that can melt anyone. And finally, if you're on the other side of the battlefield, how do you deal with this guy? The key is to watch for his ultimate. Once he swaps with his clone, he has committed. That's his only escape, and it's now on cooldown. Save your crowd control for after he swaps. Lock him down then, and he's a sitting duck. But that's assuming he doesn't kill you with his combo. So there you have it. Nathan is a powerhouse in the right hands. It all comes down to managing your passive and mastering the 1,000 different ways you can use his ultimate. He takes some practice, but the payoff is one of the strongest late game carries in Mobile Legends. Give these tips a try in your next game and let me know how it goes in the comments below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.
Turret is under attack.